Hello, beautiful people. I think I'm live now. Hello, everyone who's gonna join live. If you're gonna catch the live, if you're watching replay, drop down below where you're tuning from. But other than that, I also know that usually, well, at least I haven't seen that people do Instagram lives in like a landscape. But I wanted to repurpose this for YouTube as well, play it smart. So we're gonna roll with it. But in any case, guys, welcome to this live. As promised yesterday, my coach challenged me slash suggested, invited me to start doing more Instagram lives. And as I mentioned on my stories, I do feel a little bit of resistance there. Like, I don't want to do so many lives. I don't want to be in people's faces, blah, blah, blah. But, I know that this is part of me of, stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something I'm not so used to do, In any case, as probably you see from the title of this live video, I want to talk about fear and, what you might be fearing. And I'll keep it very short. I'm gonna address very, very key points around fear, regarding fear. And I'm just looking at my notes so I don't forget. But there are three main things that I want to talk about. First, what essentially is like fear at its core. The second thing I want to talk about is why we are fearing something. And the third thing, obviously, how to overcome this fear. And stay till the end if you're watching the replay, because I'm going to announce something at the end that is very, very going to help you to overcome this fear. So let's talk about what is fear. Because what really, doing inner work and shadow work for, past 10 years, understanding, hi Oscar, how are you? Understanding, what drives human behavior, why we act the way we act, I really understood that most of the people have this block of fear. We're living in the paradigm of fear. So what is fear? Essentially, in a nutshell, it is our way of our ego doing its job. It is doing its job and providing us fear, emotion of fear, when there's a danger outside of us that we could be killed, there's a danger or something that we should be looking out and not to do this. So essentially, fear is just an emotion, an indication that something has to be brought up to our awareness. Why do we fear, which is the second point? Why do we fear something? Is if you take anything like answer this to yourself now, what am I fearing in my life? Because no matter how much inner work you have done, no matter how amazing you are and how confident you are in yourself, always on subconscious level, there is some sort of fears. Like, to give you a few, fear of growth, fear of success, fear of other people thinking about us XYZ, fear of, being too much, being not enough, and fear of messing up. Like, there's so many of those fears, and let me know in the comments if you can, relate to any of those fears. So why do we have those fears? If we take any kind of belief based on fear and we track it down to the root of, what is causing us to fear something, and we take it back in a caveman day, then any fear, and I think I was talking about this with somebody on YouTube, that every fear is caused by the fear of death. Because our fear is given to us, as I said, to be indicated, to be warned by something, that there's out there something in the external world that can come and get us. Or, fear of people judging us. take it back to the caveman age. If we do not belong, if we're not accepted, if we did something wrong that is not according to the rules of the tribe, we will be kicked out. If we are all alone in that crazy world, we're most probably gonna die. Because we're all alone, we're not supported, there's nobody who has our back, and we can be killed by lion, by other tribes, and so on and so forth. So we humans are so, we are very, I don't want to say primitive, but our ego, our senses are primitive, and our ego haven't catched up that we are living now in a modern world, that there is most probably no lion is gonna go and chase you and kill you. There is no tribes anymore, right? Like tribes, unless you're living in such an area, where there's kind of environment, but most probably you're not gonna watch this video as well. But if you're living in the modern world, there is no this primal danger anymore. And our mind, our ego, our senses haven't caught up yet that we are living in a modern world. So instead, we are fearing other people. We are thinking that other people are different than me, or I am different than other people. So I don't want to mess up. I don't want to be, kicked out. I want to be same as everyone else so that I belong, and so on and so forth. So we're building up this stress. But also, if you look, for example, in the animal kingdom, if you look at a zebra or gazelle or whatever, and when they're chased by the lion or, some predator, and they manage to escape, they manage to stay alive, before they go back to the herd, what they will do, they will shake off the fear so they don't bring this back into their herd. Hey Reed, how are ya? So when humans, we are afraid, we're afraid of something, we don't do this, shake off. We keep this fear in our system, in our energetical body, in our flesh, and in our mind. So with this, that's why there's so much anxiety in our world. That's why there's so many unhappy people, because we're freaking fearing everyone and everything. We think that, we're gonna be killed, we're gonna be left all alone, because we do not give our organism, our bodies, a way to release the fear, right? So we have really to understand that everything that we fear in the modern world is actually an illusion. And I have talked more about this in one of my latest YouTubes, how I woke up from the illusion of fear, like what happened in my life when I understood that everything that I was fearing as a teenager, as a child, is such a freaking bullshit and an illusion. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I want you to understand that fear is an illusion that we all are living in. Of course, I love the saying, danger is real, fear is a choice. So with this, I'm kind of wrapping this up. I want you to think about it. What am I fearing? Where in my life I'm holding myself back because I'm afraid to do something, because I am afraid of judgment, because I'm afraid to mess up, because I'm afraid of success, because I'm afraid of expansion. For example, my fears, if back in the day I was thinking that, I'm afraid that people are gonna judge me, I'm not gonna belong, blah blah blah. Now my fears are more around, I don't want to be too much. I hope that my content serves people and I don't mess up, with somebody's mindset or whatever, it's different kind of fear, but fear will never go away. We have to embrace it. So with this being said, really acknowledge and think about, what are you fearing? And let me know that in the comments. If you're brave enough, let me know in the comments, what are you fearing currently? And how it's getting in the way of your success. And with this being said, if you know that the fear, that you have some sort of fear that is blocking you from, going out of your comfort zone, achieving something, ask yourself, how long am I gonna allow myself to sit in this fear? How long I'm gonna allow this fear to dictate what to do with my life? Yeah, thanks, Reed. I have a lot of energy now, but I used to be very shy and suppress myself until I learned that it was one of my fears. And as my being, I'm very energetic, but I was suppressing myself for majority of my life until I faced my fears. And the last point, what I want to cover is how to overcome your fear. And let me guys know in the comments, what do you think? How to overcome the fear? Tasha, I'm afraid to go on live. Well, I challenge you. I challenge you to go and do your first live. Like, doesn't matter. When I did my first live, I was terrified. Like, I mean, terrified. You know, a good tip that I did was I used somebody's Facebook group. It was closed Facebook group, and I did a live there. And I was like, first 3 minutes, I'm like, I'm gonna press the record button. I couldn't press it. I was so afraid. But I did it, and I said, you know, this is my first live. I'm so nervous, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's so amazing to see how people start to support you when you share vulnerably what you're going through. Because guess what? If you're afraid, most probably there are people who are afraid as well. And you stepping up, you breaking through this fear is gonna give them permission to break that fear, because they will see, oh, if she's, you know, could do it, if Tasha could do it, why can't I? You know, and you know, don't look at me that I do stories, I do YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I still have this, you know, uncomfortableness. Every time I go live, every time I do video, but for me, it's like, I hope I don't mess up. I hope there's a big transformation and so on and so forth. We have to understand we are humans. So we have ego, and it's just doing its job to make sure we're not killed. So just embrace it and know it's never gonna go away, but don't allow fear to interfere with your life and what you want to create. Oh, Tasha, yeah, let's do it. I'm happy to do Instagram live together to collaborate and, you know, give you the support. Yeah, for sure. Let's do a collab. Just message me. Read, what do you fear now? Yeah, my biggest fear is probably not to bring my vision to life, like, but eventually it comes down of feeling not enough. My fear is to, you know, if I share something with my content, to be misunderstood. And I know that this is just my mind which is telling me, because I have done inner work around it. Like, you know, it's not me that I'm not communicating efficiently. It's just like we have all different perceptions. So I had to do inner work to understand that, you know, it's okay. It's not about me. I don't have to take it personally, and I just communicate in a different way. So, you know, with this, you have to learn how to overcome it. What's your vision? Too big, like, to change the freaking world and how education system is done, everything around, you know, education of a human, because literally the financial system, the education system, medicine, food industries, everything is so set up in a smart way that humans do not realize our own power. And it really drives me nuts, especially when there are kids involved and kids are not being educated about our abilities as a being, but instead are brainwashed to be employee and suppress their being, their knowledge, value, everything. This cannot continue, in my opinion, and there are so many people who will be changing those systems in the next, you know, couple of years. In any case, guys, I'm always getting, you know, I love talking and I just go on a rant. To overcome your fear, as probably you already understood, you have to face it. Because our mind will make the fears so much more bigger than it actually is, because our mind is very good at making stories. You give it a little story and it will give you like a chapter, a book. You give it, oh, what happens then, and then you have all of this possible scenarios how bad it could be. So when you actually turn around and stop avoiding and stop listening to those bullshit stories, and instead you do what scares you, you realize, oh my God, this is nonsense what I was fearing. Not only you overcome this stupid fear, but you also learn that you have your back. Like, I mean, I have done so many like scary things, like traveled the world all by myself, went to Brazil as by myself, dad, invest money, like, and it only served me. And, yeah, like, I'm just thinking, like, was there anything bad by me doing and facing my fears? No. So do yourself a favor and stop allowing fears to rule your life, because what if you would not be afraid? Ask yourself, what if you would not be afraid? If you would not be afraid to receive support, to receive success, to be success, what if you would not be afraid to do Instagram Live? How many more opportunities there could come into your life, right? So I leave you with that question. Let me know in the comments what resonated, what didn't resonate, what you're going through right now dealing with fear. And the last thing I want to share with you guys is that now, because I feel this emotion of fear, paradigm of fear has been so present during 2020, I want, thanks Reed, I'm happy that you joined. I want you to think, am I ready to release the fear? And that's why I have created a new sessions that you can book with me. So I created Realign with Yourself. So in this, it's like hour-and-a-half session where we'll look at your fears. We'll look how to face those fears instead of running away from them. How you can coach yourself through to release those fears. Whatever you want to start your business, whatever you want to start a new project or whatever. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing potential in people and, they're just being paralyzed with fear because it feels so real, right? So with this being said, I'm so excited that now I will be available to do this one-on-one private sessions, Realign with Yourself, where we look at your fear, kick the butt of your fear. We're also gonna look and acknowledge why you are so qualified or ready to, start a business, to do a YouTube channel or whatever it might be. And then we're also gonna create action plan and the next steps that will take you there, right? So this is why I have created Realign with Yourself session. So realign with yourself, not your freaking fearful ego. And I'm really happy to make this available because I usually don't do one-on-one sessions, but I just felt really called to do so. So if you'd like more information about it, well, there's two ways. Either you go click the link in my bio, it's called Realign with Yourself, and schedule a session with me, or just DM me if you have any other questions. I'm happy to support you, answer anything that you might be curious about. And we'll go from there. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Reed. Thank you, Tasha, Oscar, everyone who joined. I really enjoyed being here. And if anything, just DM me and look forward for more my lives, because this is challenging for me as well, commitment, putting myself out there, but I'm gonna do it. Alright guys, talk to you soon. Bye!